What's that?
I think that's it. We're a little early.
It's okay.
There we go. Hi, Judy.
Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Still in Rhode Island.
I was expecting
Still
to
raining.
hear that.
Still raining.
Well, you missed a whole lot of rain here today. It was a little scary for a while. So.
Yeah, Dennis was driving. He was delivering down in Fort Lauderdale, and he said it was pretty bad. And then he went over to Fort Myers, and he said it was really bad over there. So
It rolled through here pretty fast, but it was coming down like ridiculous.
Yeah, everything's flooded.
Hold on.
Oh.
But could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, you could be sitting in a trailer hearing the sound of beating rain on it. I keep saying it's like Chinese water torture already. It's been raining so much up here. So I'm done with it. Yeah.
Krystal, okay, she's coming on in a minute.
Stephen, can you chew on a quieter toy?
So we have some people coming on. They said they're going to be a little late, so it's not that big a deal. Putting all the kids to bed. There she is.
Hi. Oh my gosh, so fast. Okay, hold on. I gotta set this up, and I want to just grab a couple markers here. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, very good.
So good, yay! I literally just hung up with a brand new promoter that's joining the team, and she's in Florida.
Nice. Down near us?
I don't know. She told me where she was from. I don't know where it is. I asked her if she knew where Delray was. She didn't know where it was. So I'm kind of lost right now. I don't know. Nobody knows.
It's good.
Yeah.
Team Florida happening.
Yeah, exciting. I told her that you guys were there.
Good.
So, yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll use this too. Okay. I think I'm good. Let me go over to my seat.
The dog is watching the Zoom. Sorry.
Oh, so cute. Oh my gosh.
She hears people talking. She's like, "Where are they?"
Hey,
You're right. Awesome. And for those of you that have hopped on, definitely make sure that you're sending out invites and reminders to your team. This is a very important, as I'm setting myself up here, topic. And I know, okay, that so many people do not understand waiting room in any way, shape, or form. Which is, it's okay. It's okay not to understand it. Gosh, I've been doing this for 4 years and I did not understand waiting room truly and use it to my advantage until this year. So if it took, I know for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I know if it took me that long, then I know that there's people that, not talking about the newbies, but people that have probably been in their business for a while and still don't fully grasp waiting room and the power of it and how amazing it is, and what it means to be offered waiting room. I know that's a topic too that is like people just don't fully understand it, and I'll tell you right now, and I know that I'm going to talk for Scott and Kim that and actually I'm not going to talk for Kim because Scott's her sponsor. So but what I'm going to say is I know that I can absolutely speak for Scott and say, you know what, Scott and I have never received waiting room, okay? And I will tell you right now, I would give an arm and a leg to earn waiting room, all right? It has never been offered. And I mean, it probably will never be, and that's okay, you know? But I want you guys to understand, you know, and tonight we'll chat about that, like, why it's so valuable, you know, why it's so important, and how you, as a entrepreneur and a business owner in your Le-Vel business, can explode by utilizing this feature that Le-Vel offers us. So before we kind of get really elbows deep in this, what did you want to, what do you want to talk about and start off with?
Well, actually, you kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, I was going to say that you and I are probably the only ones I know on this team that have never gotten any waiting room, which is probably why we utilize it probably the best on the team, as far as I can tell, in terms of helping us not have red legs when possible, and earning our teammates able to earn that waiting room volume to push them over the edge when they're this close to a goal, and you know that allows them to reach that goal. I mean, just between you and I, how many times have we been this close at the end of the month and be like, nothing I can do, you know? Yeah. And thankfully, you know, we have that option to help everyone go. But there are caveats with that. It's you know, this is something we're going to talk about in a little bit, but I'll let you go a little further. But it's basically, we want to let people know that this is such a powerful tool, and it helps everyone, including other people in your downline, as long as you don't go ridiculous deep. And it's a necessary thing, I think, in order to have a successful business and keep everyone, you know, moving forward.
Absolutely. You know, so some of the most featured, that's a good word to use, some of the most featured leaders in Le-Vel that you guys, I'm sure, probably follow, okay? You maybe idolize, you are like, I want to be like them, right? You see them on stage, whatever the case may be. Guys, I'm going to at least say a handful of them I'm friends with, and a handful of them I know the backstory, and a handful of their leaders that you've seen on stage have had the opportunity to earn waiting room that has helped them rank to where you see them now. Okay, so again, it really just goes to show the power in that. Funny story to kind of kick this off. And this is, again, just that not understanding it. So when I first started, okay, in my first 4 months, 3 or 4 months, okay, this happened. Well, maybe it was 6 months. Yeah, it's probably 6 months, because waiting room, they sit there for, is it 90 days or 60 days? 90 days. So I personally enrolled, okay, this promoter. And I never moved a waiting room in my life. I really didn't even understand it. I was still working. Okay, I remember I was sitting in my office at work on the phone with Nikki when I should have been working. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm looking in my back office right now, and this promoter, you know, she's going to expire. What do you think I should do? And I was like, do you think I should move her under Steve, who is my husband? And Nikki had, mind you, never utilized waiting room, so she had never moved anyone. And I'm like, I don't know, what do you think I should do? I feel like I shouldn't just leave her there. And she was like, yeah, that sounds good. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, boink, and I moved. And once you move waiting room, it's a permanent move. Okay, so that person grows underneath the person that you have moved them under, like, indefinitely. Okay, so I moved her under my husband. And then I'm like, okay, I did it. And she's like, what? What do you mean you did it? And I was like, what do you mean you told me to? But I'll tell you that in hindsight, it was one of the best moves I did, okay, because it's my husband. But at the same time, I became so, I guess, fearful of waiting room, because this leg became my red leg as I continued to grow, okay? And so my husband was now my red leg. So I couldn't be like ordering stuff through Steve to help me out, because it didn't help me, you know, offset the volume. And I think that's why I became so kind of fearful and not really comprehending the value and the power behind waiting room for a very long time, because I was so just like, I've just gotta, maybe I should leave this person. Well, I think this person's gonna be a rock star and they've got to stay my first level. And I had that mindset for a very long time after. And now I look back and go, oh my gosh, I wish I had like done the waiting room, because you know what? There would be so many other of my personals that would be they would be so much further, right? And so that is where waiting room really is brilliant. For one, we're so blessed to have the opportunity to build that way. Okay. And so, Scott, what I wanted to do, and I think it was good for me. And I know in the past when we've talked about waiting room, I wanted to do some like visuals. Are you good with that?
Absolutely.
All right. So, for those of you that don't have a clue what waiting room is, for one, that's the opportunity. Every time you personally sponsor somebody into the business, okay, you have 90 days to move them. Okay. I personally, this is where it kind of gets tough, but I mean, until you have 4, in my opinion, you don't want to be really moving anybody, because you can't even like rank advance to your first and second ranks truly without 4 personally active, promoters. Okay. But once you get past that, like that 4th hump, you can start utilizing that waiting room. So what does that mean? Well, we oftentimes see, you see maybe Scott or Kim or, somebody else, myself, Nikki, I don't know who. You see people using a promo, putting out some kind of like incentive, right? If you do this, I'm going to reward you with this, whatever it may be. Well, oftentimes especially at the beginning, and we're building, I personally didn't have any kind of funds to be putting into my business. I was just like, what do you mean that you want me to take my credits and give them away? That was kind of like that scarcity mindset, right? Well, Le-Vel now gives you the opportunity to personally enroll somebody, okay? They start on their Thrive experience, or they're not, because they're trying to earn it for free. Either way you want to look at it. And now they're giving you this person as leverage to incentivize your runners on your team. Okay, so look at it like that. You literally don't have to take a penny out of your pocket to incentivize other people that really want this as bad as you, that are going to run for it. And side note, if you are ever given the opportunity to run for a waiting room, run as fast as you can. I will tell you right now, there's so many people in this company that were maybe 4K, brand new, 12K, doesn't matter. They were offered a waiting room. They ran like heck. And guess what? That brand new promoter that got moved under them, that was maybe just in their VIP, exploded, and it exploded their business. So waiting room, if you haven't even ever seen it before, waiting room is located on the left-hand side of your cloud office under My Team. Okay, and then there's a button called waiting room. That's where you'll find everybody that's constantly, loaded in your waiting room. And if you do not move them in that 90-day period, they permanently just become your first level. Okay, so let's do a little, like, we're gonna do a little teaching here. Okay, so
we need to get you a whiteboard.
Huh?
We need to get you a whiteboard.
Yeah, well, I'd have one, but then I'd have to move this, and
okay.
I should have prepared more. So, all right, so this is, okay, this is me, okay? I've got a skirt on. Okay, that's me. Can you guys see me? Okay, so that's me, okay, for example. And I personally enroll Scott, and I personally enroll Kim. Do you like how I did that? And I personally enroll Rick, right? Because Rick's on it. Rick showed up tonight for himself. And I personally enroll Robin Warren, okay? So now I have 4 people, all right? So I've started, and I've got these 4 people, and they're super excited, and they're active. It doesn't matter what their volume is. They could have $150, they could have $800, they could have $1,000, doesn't matter. I've got 4 personally enrolled active promoters. So now, all right, I bring on 2 more, okay? I bring on Christy O'Brien. I'm gonna personally enroll Scott's entire team. And I personally enroll Melissa Manuti, okay? And now I have 6. I'm gonna draw my face if I try to do that. So now, let's use green. Now I've got these people, and let's just say in that first 90 days, I've personally enrolled all of them. All right. Let's just for example's sake. So I go to my waiting room and I now have 6 people sitting in there. All right. And let's say, you know, I don't know, these, you know, Kim and Christy have like, you know, they're like $200, but, you know, they're just kind of like not quite sure yet about the opportunity. But then we've got like Scott and Robin, and they're like, they're off to the races. They're running. Okay. And then we've got Melissa, and she's kind of like, you know, she's doing her thing, whatever, right? Well, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to put out a waiting room challenge, and whoever earns it, and you can choose who you offer this to, all right? So I'm going to put out a waiting room challenge to maybe 4 of them, okay? And I'm going to take Kim and Melissa, okay? And those are the 2 that I'm saying, okay, I've got these 4. They're rocking and rolling. I think these 2 have huge potential too, but I've got to condense down because I want to maximize this, right? Leverage. And when I'm helping others grow, it's helping me. And that's how we build momentum, right? When people are advancing and growing. And so I put out this incentive, whether it's 25 free accounts, whether it's $500 in new volume, customer promoter, you guys can decide whatever you want to do. This is your personal promotion, okay? I do it, and Scott and Robin Warren win my promo, okay? So now I take Kim, and I am moving her waiting room under Scott, okay? Guess what? Guys, Kim's still my first level. I've still personally sponsored Kim. She is my business partner, but I just, gave her another person in her support system to go to, right? And I have now rewarded Scott and said, you know what? You're killing it. I'm so stinking proud of you. I want to reward you because I know that you're just going to help as many people as possible. So now Kim's $200 in volume is now moved under Scott. So Scott's, let's say, $1,200 in volume that he was starting off with just went to 14. Does that make sense? Not yes. So now I take Melissa, okay, and I move her under Robin because Robin earned the other one. And, you know, I move that volume under the same thing. Melissa's still my personally enrolled. Robin's still my personally enrolled. But now I took her and I moved her. These are kind of like think of it like Legos. I use mega Lego blocks every time I've done these visuals before. But now I move her under, so now think of it like this, right? Now Melissa's under Robin, Kim's under Scott, growth-wise, okay? I didn't take Melissa and say, okay, I'm done working with you. I'm going to push you under somebody else. I didn't take Kim and say, Kim, I'm going to give you to Scott's team because I just don't have time for you. I am saying, you know what, Kim, I'm going to hook you up with somebody else so when I'm not available, Scott can also help you, okay? But guess what? When a double triple comes out, I'm like, hey, Kim, want to buy a promoter pack? Because you are my personally enrolled girl, right? So that, guys, those people are still your sponsor, okay? They're still there to help you. They're still there to support you, and so on for you. You're still there to support your person that you've personally enrolled. You're still there to be able to offer them promotions, but now you've taken this and you've leveraged volume that you've brought in. Well, guess what? We bring in Melissa, and Melissa explodes, and now Robin goes from 4K to 12K just because she just gained more volume in her growth of her team. And Kim explodes, and Scott goes from 40K to 200K because Kim's on freaking fire.
What?
Okay, so that's how waiting room works. And you rule of thumb. Let's say I keep bringing people in, right? Well, guys, this is something that I've personally been doing a lot of lately. As you guys have seen, I'm enrolling people like wildfire, okay? And you know what I'm doing is I'm taking those people, and this is something that I used to do, and I'm going to share this because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes, is I would do a lot of this, right? I would take, let's say, Melissa, put her to Robin, and then I would take the new person and put it around. I would keep everybody on my second level. So the only person that was benefiting from, in reality, my hustle is that one person. I mean, yes, me too, but it's that one person on my first level. Now I'm like, rule of thumb, you really don't want to move waiting room lower than 4 levels. Okay. Not that you can't, you can do whatever you want. This is your business, but for maximum benefit for you, obviously your weekly rewards, okay, is really 4 levels deep. So what I've been doing now is I'm taking these people, right? And let's just say, for example's sake, on my personal team, okay, Robin Warren. I put out a challenge. Robin earns it. Well, I've maybe already put 1 or 2 girls under Robin, okay? Well, guess what? I'm going to offer it to those girls too, all right? Because I'm going to take these girls. Why do I want to only help one person, right? I want to help as many people with one move. Maximize your leverage in what you're doing. So now I'm taking these people and I'm like, listen, I'm going to hook you up because I'm here to help you 100%. But you know what? What if I'm sick one day? I mean, it doesn't happen, but what if my kids are sick? What if, yesterday I was at an emergency room vet for like 4 hours and I had no service, okay, inside this building. Now, guess what? I'm going to introduce you to my friend who I'm going to pull in, and that person's going to help you, especially when I'm not available. So does that make sense in regards to the leverage of not only when you move waiting room, you're helping build other people, okay? But it's technically you're not losing anything. And that was something that I feel like I had a big fear in my head for a long time. Is like, I was somehow losing out if I moved these people. And that is not true. How do you think in reality? I'm going to use Dana Chuba, for example, okay? Dana has, or Elise, no, let's not even use Dana. Let's use Elise Leininger, okay? She is our upline, and she has the most personally sponsored 200Ks in this entire company. Did you guys know that? She has the most personally enrolled 200Ks in this entire company. When you personally enroll somebody and they go 200K, you get another monthly bonus just for that, okay? Do you know how she's done that? Because she's maximized her waiting room. She never lets people expire on her first line. She's constantly putting out by the 15th. So she has a strategy that the first half of the month, you're enrolling as many free accounts as you can. Then you're getting them set up on validation calls, or, whether you're doing, some kind of blitz, whether it's a sample blitz, trial blitz, whatever. By the 15th, now she's swapping over and going, okay, now who's in my waiting room? I'm putting out waiting room challenges. Okay, and it's this circle over and over and over, and so she's personally enrolling all of these people, but she's helping build all of her other personals with these people, and multiple, down to, let's say 4. Now, let's say for example goes Scott, Kim, Christy, and Rick, okay, and they were all personals, but they've been moved 4 levels deep. Okay, so it started with Scott, then I moved Kim under Scott, and then I moved Christy under Kim, and then I moved Rick under Christy. They're all still my personals, but I've moved them down this deep. Well, guess what? Every time I moved somebody deeper, more people benefited from that, right? More people grew, more people start rank advancing. When that starts to happen, amazing things start happening. Momentum starts exploding. People are ranking up. People are earning auto bonuses. People are earning iPads. People are, at a 40K, 80K, people are hitting the top rank in the company. And so the more that you leverage with your waiting room and get very, strategic about it, the faster you're going to start seeing your leaders growing because you're helping build them up. One thing I will definitely say, don't ever just give it away. All right. You want people to work for it. This is like basically saying, here, let me just send you, throw out $50. Yeah, I just want to give you $50. Like, you wouldn't just do that. Well, maybe, if you're like a Le-Vel millionaire, I would maybe do that walking down the street just to be, I don't know, like a good Samaritan one day or something. I don't know. But for now, like, I wouldn't be like, hey, here, let me just throw $100 out the window, and see who picks it up. Like, no. Right? You're not going to do that. So why would you just give away $150 in volume? $400 in volume. If you have somebody who's taken off in their first 30 days, you could have over $1,300 in volume that somebody else is going to earn, you know, with a waiting room challenge. So don't ever just give it away, even if it's, you know what, go out and get 10 free accounts tonight. Like, make people need to earn it. And if you're getting a waiting room, you need to earn it. Go ahead, Scott.
With that being said, you guys, even if you have new people that are doing zero, always move them. And I think, Krystal, it might have been you that told me, it could have been Nikki, I don't remember, to always move the zeros. And I never believed that. I always thought it was bull. But I will tell you this, guys, 2 years later, people come out of like the woodwork and be like, all right, I want to do Thrive now. And they start working and they're moved under someone. And guess what? It benefits all those people.
Or you're like, darn it, why didn't I move them?
Exactly. And then by then it's too late because, you know, they've been inactive all this time. They're unable to be moved. So move the zeros. You never know when someone is going to just blow up.
Yes, I do that, honestly, guys, every week. So, yes, do I enroll a lot of people? Yup. Does everyone I enroll order? Nope. Some people enroll under me and then they don't even talk to me, and I'm like, I'm so confused. Why don't you want to talk to me? You know, and I call these people, so the zeros, I personally call them ghost promoters, okay? But you never know when a ghost promoter is all of a sudden going to appear in your business. So what I personally do, I don't just move them. I still do for my, in my personally enrolled or down to 4 levels, I'll still do like a challenge. Hey, go get 25 free accounts tonight, or go get, in the next 24 hours, go get 10 free accounts, whatever. And I will move a ghost promoter under you, because you never ever know. That person literally, like Scott said, could come back and all of a sudden you're like, I didn't know who you were, and now they're ordering. I do have a woman who still has not really communicated with me at all. I moved her, and now all of a sudden she's ordering. She has like 2 or 3 customers, and the woman's still like not talking to anyone. But hey, I mean, that is volume, right? So if I had just left her there, and Scott, like you just said, you must have like a bazillion personally sponsored that you're like, oh darn it, like I wish I could have like moved all these. I have so many personally enrolled that I look back now and go, oh, like I wish I had got it, because it just could have it could have helped so many other people that,
I actually got yelled at for mine.
In the organization. By Elise?
By Paul, actually.
Oh, by Paul? Why? Because you had so many on your first line?
I had 37 promoters on my front line.
Oh gosh.
And he's like, you shouldn't have more than 12. And I said, well, I have 37. I thought it was better that way, because I just didn't know what waiting room was. We didn't talk for 6 months. I didn't even know you. So I had no idea. I was trying to figure things out, but I was signing people up. And by then it was too late.
Right. So,
it hurt me, because I could have built the people that have been with me forever even a little better. Katie and Christy. I just didn't know what I was doing at that time.
Yeah, listen, Rob, I have thought about that about Robin. I know she was on it. She's still on. Listen, I've thought about that a million times. Like, oh my gosh, I wish I had known, like I would have put this person, like Robin is one of my personally enrolled. And I wish I had known then, now, to have that, like that leverage to help her too, but that's why we're doing this tonight, guys, because there are a lot of questions about around waiting room. There's a lot of you that are probably on this Zoom right now and you're like, I still am so stinking confused. I have no idea what they're talking about. And that is fine. That's fine. I literally dialed into so many calls with Elise, all kinds of stuff. And it took forever for me to wrap my head around it, but don't let it take forever. Okay. If you've got waiting room and you're still a little confused, make sure you are reaching out to, Scott, to myself, to your, 80, 200K leaders, okay, 40K leaders, and saying, listen, I got some waiting room. I don't know if I'm should I be moving it? What should I let us help you leverage what you have. Okay. If you're not in a position to move it, we're going to tell you. We're not going to let you, move stuff and then, not be in a good position to do that. If you have questions and like school, no question is a dumb question, okay? Please reach out. If you are still confused about something, something has not clicked, reach out, because do not make the same mistakes that blatantly Scott and I have said that we have made. We want you to grow. We want you to help others on your team grow. We want you to explode, and we want you to leverage your business to the highest potential that you possibly can. So that being said, Scott, is there anything that you wanted to say about, what we chatted about tonight? Is there anyone that has any questions? We can totally open it up.
I just have one quick shout out. I want to say good job to Christy, because Christy O'Brien reaches out to me every single month, and she will send me screenshots and says, I'm not really sure, what should I do with this, and what challenge is a good challenge to run?
Yes.
Every month she asks me, and except for last month, so I think she did it on her own. So, but it's good, because it's nice to know that there's things going on, and she was interested, and she's excited about it, and she wants to know. And I think it was a great job, Christy. I know you're probably cooking or with Sean or something, but
congratulations. That's awesome. And so, the thing is, again, is that you're leaving. Think of it like this. My phone's about to die, so I had to walk away. Think of it like you guys, you're literally leaving money on the table. Think of it like that. Like, imagine if, you had some waiting room and you just didn't even look into it like that, or you just weren't sure, and instead of reaching out, you didn't say anything, and 4 months later, you are kicking yourself because you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I moved those people. I wish I knew what I was doing then, because heck, maybe your spouse could be 12K, 40K now if you had moved a waiting room, right? Maybe, a family member, a friend, or just somebody on your team that really works their tail off, and they're like, I just wish I had known then, because I could have utilized this back then, and I could have already helped you, and done this together as business. So if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask, and don't ever let your waiting room expire in your back office without looking into it, and at least asking somebody else, what should I do with this? So does anybody have any questions? If you do, definitely unmute. We want to help you understand this to the fullest. Crickets.
Krystal, can you hear me? It's Robin. I'm driving, so no. If I did it right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I did.
We can hear you.
I have a question. Can you move a waiting room under waiting room? Say if somebody, you can? Okay.
Yes. Yes. So that's what I was saying in regards to what I've been doing now is, I'm taking, let's say, Robin, for example, I take brand new promoter A from Florida today, and, you earn her and she gets moved under you, or I put her out to an incentive of somebody that's already under you, and I move her under that person who's already under you. See what I mean? So actually, I waiting roomed say promoter under number 1 is already under you, and now I take this promoter and I waiting room her under promoter number 1. So now it's 3 promoters in one. Does that make sense? It's it literally is like stacking Legos. I feel like that is the best analogy of brick. You're taking and you're just stacking them on top of each other, but at the end of the day, they're still all like this. When it comes to your personally enrolled, when it comes to, who you can put promotions out to, when it comes to those people going 200K, well, guess what? They're your personally enrolled 200K. It doesn't matter if I move Kim under Scott and then Kim goes 200K. Well, guess what? She's my personally enrolled 200K, right? Scott's just benefiting from the volume, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that part.
So yes, you can absolutely. Yes, you can absolutely waiting room, you can absolutely take your waiting room and move them, and then take new waiting room and move them under that waiting room.
Well, I guess my question is, say,
wait, hold on.
well, hold on, Robin. Are you saying, because I feel like a new scenario just came up recently, and I wonder if this is actually what you're asking me. If I waiting room somebody under you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And then, okay, so if I waiting room somebody under you, and if you want to incentivize that person, I move.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
can.
can.
I've actually done it.
Yes. So okay. So this just came up, and I didn't even think of something like this either. So I moved somebody under Melissa Minuti in the past. Okay, and then Melissa took her personal waiting room and moved it under that person that I moved under Melissa as an incentive. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy,
Scott,
and that's
Scott is
awesome.
mind blown.
I never knew that. So glad, Scott,
Yes.
you learned something new too.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I didn't really ever think of that. Because I guess I probably just assumed you couldn't do something like that. But yes, I personally moved somebody under Melissa Minuti, and then Melissa personally moved her personal waiting room under that person.
You know why you didn't think, Krystal? You just did the same thing I did. I've never had anyone to move someone under, so I had no idea. And then she reminded me, I'm like, she goes, we did it a couple of times, so there you go.
Oh yeah, you're right, Joe. Joe, because I never got waiting room. I need some.
I haven't had anyone to move anyone under, so yeah.
See, I didn't even know. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, is this a dumb joke? I don't know why. I don't know that question.
I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I just hit the button and crossed my fingers, and I went, and it did it. What was the worst thing that was going to happen? I said no.
Yeah, we said you can't move it.
Exactly.
Yeah, said I don't. That's cute, but I don't think so. Right? No, I mean, talk about huge leverage. You know, that is a total game changer. And again, that's probably why Scott nor I have ever talked to you guys about it, because we didn't even know about it. But yes, you can do that. So if you earn waiting room and then you have waiting room to move, you can incentivize the waiting room that's already moved under you with your personal waiting room. That could be done.
That's pretty cool.
Who else has a question? That is amazing. I wish I had known about it because I could have done it. That would have been really amazing.
All right.
All right, guys. Who else? Anybody else have any questions? All right.
Krystal,
Well, I guess everybody is going to. What?
I just said thank you. We had a
What'd
little.
you say?
You know.
Oh, you're so welcome. I love you guys. And, well, I am assuming that everybody on the Zoom is going to be a waiting room expert this month. And you are going to screenshot your waiting room and reach out to your upline before the end of the month. And one other thing before we close is make sure, I don't know or really remember like the exact how it falls. I only know mine, but make sure that you learn, and you'll find out in your back office, or I think it's the company updates or whatever, dependent on is it your ID number? I think it's your ID number, or it's your last name. Yeah. You do have a cutoff time that you can move waiting room. So make sure that you get familiar with your specific cutoff time, because the worst thing to happen is offering an incentive of waiting room and then timing out and not being able to move it to that person that earned it. That is like no bueno. So make sure that you find out when your waiting room time cuts off, and make sure that you strategize your waiting room incentives around that. And also don't wait till the last minute, because we all know at the end of the month, the cloud, it gets so bogged down. You don't want it to freeze up on you either. And, you're like, oh, I only have 2 minutes. And then, unfortunately, it took that 2 minutes to do it, and then it doesn't let you move either. So just be smart about your time, your cutoff date. If you need help with promos or incentives, reach out to us. We'll totally help you do this. And we're going to totally rock the end of 2018. This team's about to go bananas. Scott.
Thanks a lot. It can go pineapple. That would be fine too.
This team's going to go bananas. But you guys are going to explode, and we're going to change so many stinking lives. And you guys are already bringing in, there's so many new faces on this team. So make sure you're plugging them in. Make sure that you're pushing them to things like this. This is where people really take these golden nuggets, okay? Even when maybe you can't make it on a call, they may be able to do that. So thanks so much, Scott, for putting this together. This is really important information for people. So thanks, guys, for hosting this. You guys are awesome. And let's do another one soon on a different topic. I think these are great.
Sounds good. Thank you again.
Thanks, Krystal.
Thanks, everyone, for showing up.
Great.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.